Hello everybody. This one is a very special LEGO review because it is one which I call a sequel. This is Boba Fett's Starship, or as Disney's way of saying it's the Slave One, and because of some because apparently the name is like too violent, the message isn't good enough, that Disney's forced LEGO to name it Boba Fett's Starship, which we all know is actually Slave One. So that whole copyright shenanigans. Again, this has happened for the second time. The first time was when the Razor Crest came out, then was later renamed to like the Mandalorian Starship or something like that, and all that shenanigans, which was then now repeated in this set. Which I just want to step out of it, and just not interfere with this whole copyright thing, and just enjoy the set as it is. I'm just gonna call it whatever the heck I want, and I'm calling it the proper name, Slave One. So I say this is a sequel because the first time, this isn't the first Slave One that LEGO has made recently. Back in 2019, which was 2 years ago, they made a 20th anniversary Slave One as well. That one, of course, was much bigger, much more expensive, and was from The Empire Strikes Back. This one is from Mandalorian Season 2, and this one has a brand new version of Boba Fett, which I'm very, very excited to have. And this Slave One is a lot smaller and cheaper, or quote unquote cheaper. It's just less than the original. So, meaning I have the 20th anniversary Slave One, so I'll happily do a comparison in this video just to show between the two. And then you can, if you want to see the review for that anniversary Slave One, you can see it in the card up here on the corner, or at the end screen near the end of the video. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get right to this ship. Alright, let's get started. Here is, of course, a ship. Now, most people would usually put the ship down in its parking position, but I want to make it proper and have it in proper flight position in flight mode. And of course, like I said in the beginning, I will do a comparison with the 20th anniversary Slave One because I have it, so yeah, might as well. So here it is. Boom. Just gotta get it to stand up properly on its own. Which it should be able to. So now I'm getting a little concerned that it's not. I mean, on my shelf, it's leaning against the back. Maybe that's why. But I can see why. It's a little heavy, but yeah. So there you go. Here is the comparison. May need to move the camera back slightly. I believe I need to do that. But yes, I'm kind of struggling here. Here it is. As you can see, the most noticeable difference, of course, is the size and detail. There is more parts for the 20th anniversary one, as well as obviously more parts incorporated, which means it's of course upping the price. But obviously, when it's smaller, you're more limited with details and all that and whatnot. So yeah. Other than that, the cockpit is a little different. You can see it uses a different color of transparency with the cockpit piece. I know this isn't fully in frame, but I'm trying my best here, okay? So yeah, but they do have the same play features. This is pretty much the same designs and whatnot. It's the Slave One, so there's only so much LEGO can do with it. But yeah, so there is your comparison of... I'm just gonna settle this down because, oh my god, my arm is getting tired. Here's what they look like in parking position. Gonna settle you down as well. There you go. Okay, you can definitely see this in frame now. Holy crap, that was quite a bit. But yes. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Which one do you think is better? 20th anniversary or this one, the Mandalorian Season 2 one? So, of course, size, but if you really pay attention, the designs and all that whatnot are pretty much the same, except for this one they use spring-loaded shooters for its shooting function, and of course for the smaller one here they have stud shooters. Also, one other thing I've noticed is that there's stickers on the edges here, whereas there are no stickers on the edges here for the 20th anniversary one. So I think they're trying to balance it out a bit, you know. This is a smaller model, so they're gonna add a little more stickers and whatnot. So yeah, so that is your comparison. So again, if you want to see the review for this guy, be sure to click the card. But that's it for the comparison here. Returning back to its normal, back to this model. So yeah, so the overall structure, color scheme, and all that whatnot are pretty much the same. It's what defines the Slave One, which is the dark brownish red, sand green sand green, olive green. It has the darker green, and all that and whatnot. So, of course, the main cannons have been switched to lightsaber hilts instead of the bigger ones. Don't know what they're called, but of course this piece has been downgraded. And of course you got these stud shooters here for its main shooting function here. To pick it up, of course, when it's in parking mode and flight mode, it has this feature where the wings can be flapped down, and then when you pick it up, they just retract forward like this. It is the same thing as the 20th anniversary one, and just like the 20th anniversary one, there is a handle play feature where you lift this up, you pick it up, and you can swoosh it around and fly it, which is a much more simplified one. This one's like a lift arm, you just lift it up. The 20th anniversary one, you gotta like pull the entire like handle out. So this one, of course, this is the whole purpose of it, is so you can actually hold the ship, because the ship is basically flying vertically. You can just hold it with ease to fly it around. I really like this play feature. I'm glad for all the Slave ones Lego has made, they've kept it, even with this one at a much smaller scale, of course. Here's the back. Of course, it's going to look a little bit unpleasant. It's expected, and it has these rocket boosters at the back, you know, to add a little bit more detail. Nothing here in particular, it's just simple build and all that. The cockpit right here, like I said earlier, it uses a different tone of transparency. It's a different piece, of course, but this one's a little more darker. And you lift this up, and this is where you can sit Boba Fett inside to fly it. It is only enough space for one minifigure, and yeah, so it's just stuck like that. I think in the bigger Slave ones, you actually got a rotating chair going on when he's sitting in there, but of course there is no space in there, so that's not the case for this one. So, yep, control panel on the top for some reason, but there's no levers, no nothing, whatnot, and that's kind of lacking, I guess, but then again, it's a smaller version of the Slave one. So yeah, finally, can't forget that one of the main things about the Slave one is the storage compartment it has to store Han Solo and Carbonite. Even though this is from Mandalorian, they've kept that feature here. You lift this up and you pull this out, which I dropped on the floor. You get not Han Solo, but you do get a Gamorrean guard, like the pig dudes that are at Jabba's palace. One of them got eaten by the Rancor. Yeah, those guys. Here's a piece of him just in carbonite. It's a sticker, not an actual like carbonite piece. In the 20th anniversary one, of course, we got the actual Han Solo and carbonite piece here. So they've kept the tradition here, except of course Han Solo is not in Mandalorian, so they changed it to him, this little guard guy, which makes total sense. But at least that's a way to slip it back inside the storage compartment. It's boom, just like that. They've kept it. So glad they did. Was really concerned that they would forget about it when this set was announced, but I'm glad they didn't. So overall, for a small model like this, it's not bad for a small model. It's actually, of course, it's not fully detailed, but it has enough. It has enough, and I think a little kid would actually have a better time with this smaller scale toy, whereas if they held the 20th anniversary Slave or the UCS Slave, they would definitely struggle playing with it and have a chance of breaking it. This is much more durable. This is much more playable with. This is not one you can actually collect. That's where the UCS one comes in. This isn't the UCS one. This is a smaller scale one, and I'm glad they introduced it here for this wave. So overall, this Slave one is pretty solid. Now there's another side build we gotta look at, and then we got the two figures to look at, and that should be it. So let's get right to it. Next up, we've got this cart thing. Now I'm wondering, what is the whole purpose of this? Doesn't really do much. Well, it actually doesn't really do much, to be honest. The bottom just has these transparent plates, so then you can move it on the surface easily without making screeching noises and breaking people's ears. You get the lever here, you get one little spot which can sit Boba or Mando or any minifigure in here to control it. And I think they had this for the UCS Slave one, but the point of this is you fold open this ladder, you take the whole ship, the whole godforsaken ship of Slave 1, you slap it on here, and apparently you're supposed to just carry it. Just like that. There you go. Something like that, or at least the box is trying to depict it. Is it like that? May have screwed up on some. Oh wait, kind of messed it up. I think it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That makes way more sense. Kind of impressive to see the little ladder here being able to take on the entire weight of the godforsaken ship. So, yeah, that is a creative thing. I think this isn't new. I think they had this for the other Slave 1 sets. I don't quite remember. Correct me in the comments if you know. But I'm trying to recall, and I think this is new. But it's pretty cool, you know? This is one way, I guess, this is like Boba Fett taking a ship to maintenance or something. And just like, yeah, and the fact is, because it's has those transparent plates at the bottom, makes the just the overall thing just smooth, you know, in terms of mobility, moving around. So I'm surprised the way this was constructed. It is very well balanced, very well balanced. It's actually like this is, I'm impressed. One ladder and this already holding up, and this thing is, of course, if you are too violent, of course, then of course it won't be able to hold up the ship and you'll just drop it. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is one way to stand up the ship. If it's not leaning against like a wall or something, you want it to stand up on its own. I guess this is a much sturdier way to display it. But yeah, pretty neat feature for the car. It seemed a bit unnecessary, but it's cool to see it being played here. Alright, it's time to look at the minifigures. Starting off nice and simple, we got Mando right here. Nothing new for him. We've gotten him first in the Attack on Tatooine set all the way back in January. And as you can see, yeah, there is nothing particularly new for him. He's got the cape and all that. The only new thing here, of course, is the Beskar spear, which he's holding right here. It's just a normal gray spear piece, so nothing too particularly special for here. But yeah, he's also got his pistol, of course. And then yeah, and of course, do they have a Pedro Pascal face for Mando? The answer is nope. It is still a black face, even though we know this is the way. He has given up that culture and revealed his face to Grogu, literally. So not quite sure why Lego's still keeping with that and they haven't done a Pedro Pascal face, but I don't know. But yes, this Mando, if you're looking for anything new for this Mando, there is nothing new. The same Beskar Mando we got back on the Attack on Tatooine set. So yeah, that is Mando. Next up is arguably and probably everybody's main reason why they're gonna get this set is this brand new Boba Fett. Mandalorian Season 2 Boba Fett is now an official Lego figure. Of course, the only other Boba Fett they've had was this one from the 20th anniversary Slave 1. Also, a couple other sets had Boba Fett in it. And this one is Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. You can see the difference in the print and the armors. Boba's going for more. In the Mandalorian, he has his helmet and armor is all polished up. He's wearing like a black shirt or something instead of just this. Honestly, this is a massive upgrade. Boba Fett in Mandalorian is so cool. I know he was famous in Empire Strikes Back, but Mandalorian just took him to a whole new level. And of course, if you're curious on the face, yep, there's a big difference going on in the face. Not quite sure who's this one. That does not look like Temuera Morrison, but this one, of course, looks way more like Temuera Morrison. Obviously, Boba Fett back then when Empire Strikes Back wasn't played by Temuera Morrison, so of course there would be a difference. Why? But I don't even know. The face didn't look like it, but of course Mandalorian did it quite well. So that's the comparison. So here, with the helmet off now, here's a good look at the Temuera Morrison face. They've done it very nice. You got the little wrinkles and stuff. Of course, he's bald, so he has no hair. Here's his jetpack. It's a simple old green jetpack. It's been the same as all the other Mandalorians. Really like this torso print here with the black, the yellow, red, the green armored chest plate. And then you've got his Mandalorian symbol on here. it just makes this whole thing, oh god, it just makes it look very, very cool. And then it continues on with his legs, obviously. It's going now, he has his knee rockets. Yeah, Boba is an awesome figure here, period. 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 And then putting the helmet back on. There you go. Looking awesome as anything. That is Boba Fett for you. Very awesome figure. I absolutely love it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people love it as well. But yeah, Boba Fett in the Lego form. Of course. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Empire Strikes Back or Mandalorian? Which Boba Fett was better? But in that case, that's it for this one. Let's now look at the box, and then let's wrap up the review once and for all. Alright, here's the box for this $70 set. Nice photo of Boba Fett and the Slave One flying over, I forget what planet that was, but that's where they were rescuing, or no, they were breaking to an Imperial base to get the coordinates for Moff Gideon's cruiser. So there's that. Set 75312, Boba Fett Starship, or as I like to call it, the Slave One. Disney at the bottom. Got Boba Fett and Mando right there. Got the Mando on the corner of the box art there. Boba Fett up on the minifigure scale. And then at the back here, just a photo of the Slave One landing. You can see Boba is loading the carbonated dude into the storage, and Mando's just watching him and showing you all the other play features. And of course, we showed you earlier there is a little thing for the compartments, which we will look at in a, which we did look at, sorry. But yeah, so other than that, that is it for this box. It's actually pretty, looks more like a $50 set box to me, but then again, this isn't 50 bucks, so yeah. So if you're a lover of Slave One, but you can't spend a fortune on Legos, this is it. This is the time for you to acquire this set, because I believe this is the much more affordable option. Sure, the Slave One is much smaller, isn't as nicely detailed as the 20th anniversary one, which I still really like. This is definitely a much cheaper option. You get a very exclusive Boba Fett here. Maybe they might release him again into some other sets, we don't know, but for as of now, this is the only way you're going to be able to get the Mandalorian Season 2 Boba Fett. So, yeah. Obviously, Mando is still the same in his Beskar armor. He's got the spear and all that. That was cool. That seemed to have been unnecessary. Could have been invested in making the Slave One look a little bit more nicer with the budget. And of course, they still kept a black face for Mando, but yet they have a Tamura Morrison face for Boba Fett. And we all know it's Pedro Pascal playing Mando, so they should really have a Pedro Pascal face at this point, because, well, we now know the Mando has taken off his helmet a couple times in the show already, so we've seen his face. Come on, Lego, just give us a Pedro Pascal face, for crying out loud. But yeah, this is good. $70, it's expected. It's Star Wars. It's supposed to be pricey. It's not gonna be cheap at all. But other than that, like this, obviously I have to go for the 20th anniversary Slave One. I just think that's a lot better. Obviously, because it's bigger and more detailed, but this one is good for its affordability as well as the Boba Fett figures. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good for a small ship, a smaller version of a ship made with less parts and yeah, and all that whatnot. So I give this set a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, you know. Maybe they include one more figure, maybe like Fennec Shand, because well, she now works for Boba, so it'd be cool to include her. Well, I mean, she is in the Moff Gideon's cruiser, but it would be nice to include her here as well. But yeah, definitely go get the set. So that being said, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Check out other Star Wars reviews if you haven't already. They are all over my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed, we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.